Okay. Thank you, everyone. So far, 5 sessions have completed. Now, welcome to the last session. And I'm sure this session is not going to disappoint you because the topic itself is other side of disappointment. So we are going to see the other side, because generally you would have seen titles like how to handle disappointment, how to face disappointment, so all these things. But I just wanted to totally give a different perspective of disappointment. So I keep hearing some noise. Okay, I think now it's clear. Okay, let me start with my presentation with a wonderful quote from Dr. Abdul Kalam. You must have a dream, an aim in life. You must continuously acquire knowledge. With hard work and perseverance, you can achieve great success in life. So this is a quote. Pretty much he kind of tells in every of his speech in colleges and schools. With that speech, let me start with a small story. So there was a poor boy whose father used to collect garbage from streets on a daily basis. Okay, so he used to go whenever there is a holiday. He used to go with his daddy, and he also used to see how he is collecting. So one day, his father fell sick, and he couldn't go. And his mother asked him to go and do his father's duty. So he went and started collecting the garbage. After collecting few streets, he found 5 coins. He was so happy to see the 5 coins, and he immediately thought, okay, let me buy something to eat. Okay, so he went to a sweet shop and bought few things, and then he gave the 5 coins. The shopkeeper accepted 4, but he said he gave the last coin. He said, "This is not. This won't go." So he just gave it back. So this boy tried the same thing, thinking maybe the shopkeeper is trying to fool him. So he took that coin, 1 coin, and he went to the other shops. So he got the same answers. No one accepted the coin. So he came with a little bit of disappointment. Okay. So he had with whatever sweets that he bought with that 40 rupees, he had it. And then while coming back home, so there was a pond on the side of the street. So he threw that coin. He thought, okay, it's not going to be of any use, and he kind of threw that into the pond, and then he was walking back. And then suddenly one shopkeeper came by bicycle, and he asked the boy, where is the coin? Give it to me. And he said, no, why are you asking? You didn't accept. Why suddenly you are coming and asking? So then the shopkeeper told, it's not Indian rupee, it is a US dollar. Okay, so this boy haven't even seen the Indian rupees the same because of his poor. He didn't have an idea, but then the shopkeeper told it's not 10 rupees, it is 500 rupees worth. It's 700 rupees, it's $10. So this boy was in a shell shock because he threw that inside the pond. So if I tell this story, many people after listening to the story feel pity for this poor boy. And the poor boy also got disappointed, right? But no one really remembered that the boy got 40 rupees. Because we never look into what we gained. We always look into what we lost, right? So that is the story. With that story, let me talk about a few more examples of disappointment. Okay. So one is unavailability of ordered food in a restaurant. So it's as simple as that. You are just getting into a restaurant, you are fond of kesari. Let's say you are ordering kesari. The shopkeeper, the restaurant fellows tells, okay, it just got over. No more it is available. So it is a kind of disappointment. But for this disappointment, what we do, we just go ahead and order the other, maybe second interested item, right? Similarly, recently the IPL got cancelled. The tournament got cancelled because of COVID, right? So this created a lot of disappointment to many people because they can't go out. This was the only entertainment they had. right? It was a kind of disappointment. And the disappointment could be exam marks, right? So he didn't secure, or he or she didn't secure good marks, or failed, didn't secure the marks that needed. And then somebody losing money in a finance company. So that is also kind of a disappointment. But people give a different name, right? One is a failure, one is a mischief, and a price increase. Suddenly, for one person was kind of saving money to buy one pound of gold, but suddenly, the price increase. So his savings were not sufficient. He gets disappointed, and losing precious item. So, suddenly, we realize, we lost some item. We don't know where we kept. Right? Even that creates some disappointment. And there are bigger disappointments especially in relationships, friendships, or love, because of trust. A lot of trust were there, but suddenly, no trust, and it created some disappointment. But this is a bigger disappointment. So why I wanted to start with an example, because the disappointments varies, the intensity varies, the impact varies. Okay, it could be a small thing which just stays for a few seconds or few minutes, and then few disappointment stays for years. Now let's understand what is a disappointment. We need to have a clear understanding on what is a disappointment. Then only we can see the other side, right? The disappointment is the difference between the expectation versus the reality. Okay, so we expect something, and then when we approach the reality, it is totally different. What happens is different. So then this creates a disappointment feeling within us. One thing I want to clarify, that disappointment is not equal to defeat or loss or failure. Defeat or loss or failures are bigger things. Disappointment is smaller. Disappointment, I would say it's a temporary failure. And failure, I would call it as a permanent disappointment. Okay, so the disappointment is very temporary in nature. We will understand more about the disappointment in the coming slides. But now, let's say once a person gets disappointed, what is this high level reaction? What is his feeling? He or she tells, okay, it always happens to me, or it doesn't happen to me. It happens for everyone, it doesn't happen to me. Or it happens to me alone. It doesn't happen to others. Or he or she may say, I'm not qualified person. I don't deserve this. So that is how they kind of try to accept the disappointment in a different way. Or they say, some people go to the extreme and say, I'm not, no, I'm born to fail. They say, they in fact generalize the entire life. They say, I'm born to fail. This is how they take even small disappointment. So it varies person to person, and also the level of acceptance or the rejection is drastic. We need to go one level and understand the disappointment at a root cause level. Why the disappointment happened, right? So we need to go to the aerial view and look at the disappointment. So when you see a disappointment, it could be because our effort is not sufficient. Sometimes, no, we don't focus on our effort, especially for exams. It could be even for love, the kind of effort and the affection that we show is not sufficient. Because we haven't put enough effort and our expectation is over. So we keep over expectation, right? Because of that, the reality, when it is low, then it creates disappointment. And for example, the IPL, if you see, the cancellation of IPL is nothing to do in our hands, right? And it could be because of external factors. There are so many disappointment that we get because of external factors. Even the restaurant example I told you, it is not our fault, right? When we went there, probably we went late, but it got over, right? Because a lot of people came early, and then it got over. We don't know how much they prepared. There are so many external factors, right, which triggers a disappointment to us. We need to understand. And it could be because of a task mismatch with our personality. I think few people talked about the personality. For example, if a person is an introvert, if he is supposed to do sales, then it is a tough job for him. Even if he tries hard to talk to new people or go to new different places, it's very very difficult. He is going to face a lot of disappointment because his natural tendency will be different. Similarly, if a person is so extrovert and he wants to move around, if you ask him to sit in front of a computer and do some activity which is no maybe a week long, then he will be gone case. He will not be able to complete. That will create a disappointment. And then inappropriate approach. Everything else could be right, but your approach could be wrong. How you approach a solution, how you approach a person, right? So that could be also that also could create disappointment. So these are the reasons for disappointment. So I want to maybe share one more story, right? Just to understand. So there was a zoo, and they kept a lot of animals for years together in a cage. And they thought one day they decided, okay, let's free some of the old animals, let them feel the freedom. Let's now free them to the nearby forest. So what they did is they kind of released them in a lane. So first they released a elephant. Okay, so it went in its lane, but there was a huge rock. Okay, on its way, so it can't go. It couldn't move further. So it just completely got stuck there. And the bird they released from the cage, and the path was completely blocked with net. So the bird was not able to cross the net. And there was a lion, and for the lion there was a rope they were hanging, so it has to literally climb by using the rope. It didn't have any idea, it didn't have any clue. Then it also got stuck. And then finally they released a monkey, and in the lane there was a huge pond filled with a lot of water. So the monkey couldn't cross, he didn't know swimming. So all four animals got stuck. All four animals got disappointed because they were not able to proceed further and get into the forest. In the process, what happened? The bird was just trying to no, fly to different places. And then when it was just coming to the elephant lane, then it saw a big gap, right, above the rock, and then it flew, and then it reached the forest. Similarly, the monkey was just jumping here and there, tried all these things. Then it just came near the lion, and then it used the rope, climbed the rope, and then it got into the forest. So the elephant was just seeing, in his eyes that the bird it was flying on top of the rock, and then it crossed. So the elephant got disappointed. He thought, okay, if I had my wings, probably I also would have gone past the rock. So it was just staying there, thinking that no, I'm not worth. I don't have wings, so I'm a loser. So it just got stuck there. Similarly, the lion also, it was just thought, okay, maybe monkeys. I'm not a monkey. I don't know the art of climbing the ropes, so I just stay here. So this is how the animals faced the disappointment. And a few animals tried different path, and then they kind of crossed. Few animals kind of felt bad, and they thought, okay, I don't have the capability of someone else, and no, I'm a loser. So this gave some idea about how different animals was handling the disappointment. Let's take an example of human being. So if you see human being, life starts, and then for a few big achievements, no, he has to cross so many curves. It is not that easy. Human life is not that easy. It's so much complicated. So many puzzles he has to cross, right? So obviously, because why human life is not as easy as like animals. So let's have a look at what is so special, so complex with the human life. So for human, you can't find someone's talent with just their appearance. For example, elephant you can say, bird you can say it can fly. Elephant you can say probably no, it has no heavy and it can no even break a tree, right? So you can't figure out based on an appearance. This is true for for himself also. Till you try it out, even the person himself doesn't know what he is good at it, right? So we can't say. Skill is developed slowly. Suddenly one day we cannot say I'm a skilled person. So if we need to become a skilled person, we need to put a lot of effort, continuous effort to become a skilled person. And the and it takes years to discover our unique talent. That's why if you see, we have 10th and 12th and college. In every stage we identify our next interest or strength. For example, till 10th everyone studies the same subject, we all are same. But by the time we understand our interest towards skill, for example science, so many people choose biology. So some people find they are good at in maths in 10th, till 10th. So they choose maths or computer science, right? So like that, people start slowly take decisions, slowly discovering their strength, their talent. And then 12th, they kind of understand the specialization, what they need to study, and then they move forward. So at this stage, if they take any wrong call, that creates a lot of big disappointment later. So that's why we need to really understand at each stage. And this is very, very important. Each one's path is different. Even if you are brothers and sisters born to same parents, you cannot compare. You cannot just take a course just because your brother or sister has taken the course and they became successful, right? Each and every person is unique, right? You cannot absolutely follow anyone else's path blindly. And also you cannot choose a career, for example software engineer or engineering college engineering student MBBS. You cannot choose just based on the demand. Okay, these are the highly paid jobs. Yeah, okay, you enroll for the job. No, just because your brother told or your uncle told, you are just taking. No. So I think each one needs to understand, because only when you understand and they take an informed decision, your disappointment will be less in life. So we can validate our talent only by doing it. So you might think you are a great writer. Unless you try it out and writing few poems or a few stories or few paragraphs, you cannot be really sure. So that is the key. So you need to practice to figure out whether you are good or not, right? If you go with that mindset, disappointment will be less. But before doing a particular task, if you think I am a great writer, and then at the end of the writing a story, if it is not received well, you will carry a lot of disappointment. Human success is very big. Why human life is very complex? Because human success is very, very big. Human achievements are really big when compared to animals or any other living things in the planet. So that's why, because of huge achievements, our challenges are also huge. So many challenges, so many complex things that we need to handle. So let's see how different people handle disappointment. So one type of people take that as a failure, take that as a defeat, take that as a loss. Okay, they get stuck, they stay there, they convert the disappointment into a failure by staying there, by literally living there. They don't even look at anything. They keep living their disappointment moment. Second type of people, they are the self-analyzers. So when they get disappointment, they kind of step back and have a look at the bigger picture. Okay, so far, to what extent I have come? How far is my destination? What are the other paths that are available in front of me? If this is not good for me, what other path that I can move forward? So at least these set of people will start self-analyzing after every disappointment. Third set of people, if they are not good at self-analyze, that's okay, but at least seek help from the right people. could be your professor, it could be your seniors in the corporate world, or it could be anyone, your coach or mentor. Ask help, seek help, right? Or it could be your friend or your parents, it could be anyone. You need to, because without seeking help, you will start replaying the disappointment and make it as a failure. And a few disappointments which turn to success. This is an interesting thing. How can a disappointment become success? So we are going to see some interesting small incidents, big incidents, in fact, big people's. So Ghazini Muhammad, many people, in fact, pretty much everyone would have read his story. 18 times, he kind of got defeated. He was defeated in a war, and probably 18th or 19th time, he became successful because he didn't stay. He didn't feel that he got defeated, and that's the end of the story. He never thought. He always thought, what is my learning? Okay, go with further enhancement, further improvement for the second time, for the third time. So that is how his disappointment became a grand success, that his name is etched in the history, and the pretty much everyone keeps reading. The entire generation is reading his name, his story. And Mahatma Gandhi, if you all know, we all pretty much know the incident when he was asked to get down from the train, right, from the first class train in South Africa. That was a disappointment. Definitely, no. If when you are asked, when you want to travel, when you travel to a destination, and when you are asked to get down at a midpoint, you will get disappointed. He also would have got disappointed, but that disappointment became a great success, and in fact, it kind of gave freedom to another country, to a country, right, like India. If he had traveled further in the train, probably the history would have been different. So he converted the disappointment into a different success. And Dr. Kalam, as I was just telling, he wanted to become a pilot in Indian Air Force. So he kind of attended an interview and he took a test. Out of 25 interview candidates, he came ninth, and unfortunately they selected the top 8. Okay, so it was a big disappointment. If you see that moment or that particular days or weeks in his life, it would have been a tremendous disappointment, right? But look at how he changed his disappointment into a success. Similarly, MS Dhoni. So if you see, it was a kind of disappointment for him when he got out for a duck on his first one-day international. It was a big platform for him, but it was a disappointment. These people literally took the disappointment into a grand success. And it is not just these great people. Each one of us would have definitely overcome a lot of disappointment in our life, right? We should look at those incidents, how we turned the disappointment to success, instead of just focusing on the disappointments and failures and defeats. So one of my disappointment is I told, right, to some people that in my 12th standard, I took above average marks, because of which I didn't get any engineering college, the government engineering college, because my parents couldn't afford to pay for engineering college. So I tried arts college. After a couple of months, I didn't get. Then I tried for diploma. Even there, they were asking some money, so I didn't join. So after 4 months, I realized, I think instead of joining this thing, I thought, okay, let me go for a improvement. Those years in 1990s, there were improvement, which you can choose the selected subjects. You can go for another attempt. It's not a failure attempt. It is more of a chance to improve the marks. So I took it was a big disappointment, 1 year gap, right? So if you all can understand. So I took that disappointment and then focused. I read. I focused on my studies, and then I literally got 199, 198, 197 marks in 3 subjects, right? And I got pretty much every government college in Tamil Nadu at that time. So similarly, each one of you would have overcome disappointments. The level could be different, but you would have, or your friend or near normal people would have converted that into success, right? So we need to just focus on that and see how we can apply the same thing in our other disappointment that we face in our future. Coming to the other side of disappointment. Okay, so here is where the focus of this presentation. The other side of disappointment is you need to step back and think. No point in just living in the disappointment. Disappointment, what it demands, the disappointment demands the much needed change in us. What change it demands? The change is either asking for us to uplift our path. Okay, there are only two options that you can overcome the disappointment. One is uplifting or upskilling, increasing the effort, whatever is not sufficient. In my case, if you see, the first year my study was not sufficient. The focus was not sufficient. The effort was not sufficient. So I focused on it and I overcame. That is one path where you need to increase the effort or upskill yourself or change the path. Some people, after many attempts, probably they may not be able to clear. So what it tells, the disappointment is, it's not a defeat or failure, end of life. No. It clearly says, this is not your path. Change your path. Okay. So that is what we need to really step back and ask these two questions. Whenever you face a disappointment, ask yourself, should I need to uplift or should I need to change the path? Okay. And remember, disappointment is temporary, recoverable and rectifiable. Successful people knows how to handle disappointment. And those who can't handle disappointment becomes loser. Only then they become loser. If a person keeps living in disappointment, they'll become loser. Don't give a chance to disappointment. Coming to the last slide, how can you prepare yourself for leading a successful life? Avoid people who call you as loser. Be with the people who support you and motivate you and guide you. It's very, very important. Surrounded by good people. Don't take it as insult. Take it as a turning point. So if you remember, when I kind of didn't score good marks in 12th, I didn't take that as insult. No, definitely my friends already joined engineering colleges. My relatives used to ask my mother, or they used to ask, what your son is doing? Is he again studying 12th? So all these things, insult will stay only till you overcome the disappointment, right? Don't worry about the insult. Take that as a turning point. If I look back my career now, so right, so that I consider that as a turning point. Otherwise, I would have studied diploma or I would have studied arts. My life would have been different. But now, my life is totally different. It gave me a chance to work for Microsoft and Oracle kind of big companies. So don't take any disappointment as insult. Consider that as a turning point. Don't fix the outcome even before starting. This basically is a over expectation, or this leads to many disappointment. Many times we fix, this is the outcome that I expect, right? So don't fix the outcome even before you start, even before you try. Break down big tasks into smaller tasks. That's why if you see, even in software, we have unit test and then integration testing, system testing, so many things. Similarly, in studies, if you see, we have monthly unit test, and then we have a quarterly, half-yearly exam, and then final year exam, right? So all these things, that's why we are trained to break down into smaller tasks. And then don't travel in someone else's path blindly. Whose path you need to travel? You need to travel your role model's path. For example, if your role model is Abdul Kalam, you need to read their biography and follow their path. If Sir C.V. Raman is your role model, just read their biography and travel their path. Because ultimately, that is the path that you want to travel, and you want to, because you know their obstacles, you know their lifestyle, how it is going to be once you become like them, right? So you need to literally understand you are a role model and follow their path. And be positive and be yourself. Right? Don't compromise. Don't worry about the disappointments, temporary disappointments. With that, my session has come to an end. And I just wanted to highlight what Kalam said this point. Perseverance is what he keeps telling in every speech. Perseverance is nothing but overcoming disappointment, overcoming failures. Right? with that thought, I kind of stop my presentation. If there are any questions, feel free to ask me.
So participants, it's open for you guys. If you have any questions, please shoot it out.
Yeah, looks like yeah, all good. Looks like
Okay, sir. Okay. So thank you, sir. Thank you, giving out good examples of good personalities as well as your example. It ignited me. First of all, I have a lot of disappointment in my life, but I changed from that. And thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So by this, we are coming to the end of the session. So I'm ending this session with a famous quote, a simple and humble quote quoted by our APJ Abdul Kalam. If you want to leave your footprints on the sands of time, do not drag your feet. So I'm concluding with this simple words, and I thank all the participants and the speakers who just came to attend this meeting and listen very patiently about the topic, which included like your personality development and other stuff. So I thank everyone and have a great day. Good night.